Hey guys, I just wanted to show you the saw I picked up the other day at the scrapyard. It's a Husqvarna 345, and when I saw it there, I just grabbed onto the recoil and I gave it a pull, and there's very low compression, guys, very low compression. And then when I took a closer look, I noticed that somebody had loosened off the muffler. And that's usually not a good sign, guys. That's usually a sign that this saw has been checked over by a shop and scrapped because it's not worth repairing. So anyway, I'm just gonna show you down inside. I don't know if you can see that, guys. I'm gonna try and get the light on it. There you go. That piston's all scored up, guys. So yeah, if you took this to a shop, they would definitely tell you it's not worth repairing. But here at Machines and Metal, we like to try experiments. So I thought, guys, this saw is complete, aside from the loose muffler. It's got a half decent chain on it. The bar's not bad. It doesn't even look to be that old, but it's in good shape, aside from the engine being burnt out. So I thought, let's do an experiment, guys. And what I did is I went on to the inner screen there and ordered on my favorite website this piston kit. Now this is from Amazon, and it's a knockoff part, so it's aftermarket. It's not an original Husqvarna part. It was a brand called Adefol or Adefol. I'll include a link in the description at the bottom there, guys, where you can order one of these for your saw. I think this was about $80. I don't remember, but it comes with a piston. It's down inside there, and gaskets and a wrist pin and clips and rings and all the bits and pieces you need to replace the top end of this saw, which is burnt out. Now, I don't have any hopes for this at all, guys. I honestly don't think this is going to work. But for a channel, for a Machines and Metal channel video, this would be fun. So this isn't going to be a video about step by step how to take this apart and do this job. That's already available on YouTube. This video is about, will the $80 rebuild kit work in this saw? And I really don't have use for a saw like this anymore. I've got a bunch of saws. I just thought I'd fix it up, give it to somebody, have them use it as a homeowner for a season, and report back, does this rebuild kit work? So I'm gonna turn the camera on and off as I yank this thing apart. Again, it's not a video about rebuilding the saw. It's not going to be a step-by-step thing. It's more a get this in as fast as we can so we can see this thing run, and I'd be interested to see if this actually works. So I'm going to start yanking this apart, and when I get to a part where I think you guys should see what's going on, I'll turn the camera back on. Alright, so we're about 10 minutes into this project, and I've got this saw half stripped to where I can start taking apart this top end. So what I've gone and done is remove the gas tank, the recoil, the top, the chain brake, the bar, the handle, and this is what we got for some hardware and a couple of rubber bumpers. Don't lose that stuff, guys. It all kind of only goes in one spot, so it's easy to put together. And now we've got this thing down to basically its base. So in there, those are the 2 and 2, 3, 4 bolts that hold the engine together. And when we pull those two out, then we've basically got 1, 2, 3, 4 right there that snap down inside. So next step I'm going to do is work at getting this top end off. Then I'm going to pop this apart and show it to you. Right, so here we go. We pulled the carburetor off, undid those 4, 1, 2, 3, 4 down underneath, pried this guy off slightly with a screwdriver, and it slipped right off, no problem. And I don't know if you can see it. Oh, there you go. You can see the scoring there, guys, where she got hot. The intake side's not horrible, but the exhaust side's pretty bad. And if we take this outside in the light, you might be able to see. I don't know if I can do this. It's too much shadow. It's summertime, guys, we got shadow. Anyway, you get the point. This is no good. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open up this package of parts and see what we got, make sure it's the same stuff. It looks the same to me. I'll lay it out so you can see what we got, and I'll turn the camera back on, and then I'm going to go forward and put this thing onto this thing and throw this all back together. We're going to see if it runs. Here's what we got, guys. So you've all seen this. Inside was a piston. So there's a new piston. Little arrow pointing forward. And we got a new piston ring, and we got some new clips for the wrist pin. So the piston wrist pin goes through the piston, and those clips go on each end. They sit down inside of that little groove right there. You can see it. We got a new decompression valve, new fuel filter, and a J.I. Dich spark plug. There's what we do with that. So anyways, I'm going to get started swapping this piston over, and then I'm going to drop this into the saw, and I'll turn this back on as I get there. And we're going to throw it all back together and see if it runs. Great, so we got the new piston in, guys. We got the clip, the wrist pin that goes down the middle, and we got the clip on the other side. Here's the old piston right there, and now what I'm going to do is very gently install this piston ring, and then I'm going to drop this new cylinder onto this old saw. I'm back. So we got the piston installed in the last bit. The cylinder is bolted down. I reattached the carburetor assembly, and I just installed the muffler, guys. We're going to reuse the old spark plug. Some of you are probably going to comment that that's a bad idea, but we're going to do it anyways. Next, I'm going to install the fuel tank, and these bits and pieces here, the handle, and then I'm going to button her back up, turn the camera back on. I've greased this, guys, inside. I lubed up the cylinder and the piston in the bottom end, so she'll smoke a bit when she starts, but that's good. That's what you want. You want oil in there for when it starts for the first time. And we're going to see if this thing fires up. Alright, so it's all back together. No leftover parts. I put in a little bit of rich fuel, guys. I put in some like 40-to-1 two-stroke mix, and we're going to give it a try. So let's see what happens here. Choke. Not bad sign. No choke. Well, it runs. So I'm gonna try and get it to idle here just for a little bit, so she kind of heats up nice and slow. It's not a good idea to replace your top end of your saw and put this thing to work right away. It's good to a few times just fire it up and let it idle till it gets warm, and then let it cool down, and then let it idle until it gets warm and let it cool down, just to kind of break it in slowly. Like I said, I don't have high hopes for this rebuild kit, so to give it the best chance possible, we should probably do this to it. Well, that's two, guys. Just gonna turn the idle up a little bit, give her a little tiny adjustment. Can't even find the idle screw, guys. Not a great sign to begin with. Might have to pop the cover off so I can see that idle screw. Probably might have to adjust the carburetor a touch as well. run it a little bit richer at idle. We'll see. I don't know. The shop that took this apart in the first place might have messed around with these carb screws. We probably should have checked those first, but we'll check them right now real quick. Usually you want to start these out at 1 1/2 turns. So there's one of them. And then this one, 1 1/2 turns. And then, like I said, down in there is our idle adjustment. Where is it? Right there. Right there. Okay. Let's try that again, guys. Oh, she doesn't run too bad. The off switch doesn't seem to work. I'm gonna run this up and down and let it break itself in here for a little bit. I'm gonna turn the camera back on and we're gonna try and cut something. Alright guys, so she's been warming up for about 25 minutes and I think I'm gonna try and do a quick cut. Now I don't know how good this chain is. I haven't really gotten into any of that stuff, but let's just see what happens. Well, she's as dull as a baseball bat. That's not going to help. We're going to have to do a little sharpen on this, but it sounds like it's working right. Hit the subscribe button for more videos about stuff like this, and thanks for watching.